You ever wonder how titles are done, kind of like on the Netflix Drive to Survive series? You know how the car pulls into the pits and it leaves revealing a title? Well, guess what? It's actually easier than you think, and we're gonna show you how to do it. First thing you're gonna do is to actually put your subject and frame it up in your camera. And one thing that I like to do also is, once you're framed up, is to either lock focus or put it in manual mode. Now, we may be using a phone, we could be using an action camera, a DJI Osmo, any camera like that. So lock the focus so that way when the vehicle actually approaches or when it takes off, it's not gonna hunt for focus and you're gonna have a nice clean shot. So once that's done, you're gonna get in the car. Okay, next thing to do is you're gonna get in the car, and I would highly recommend, especially if you're doing this on your own, to use a monitor, or if your camera has an app, and most do nowadays, is to open that so that way you can actually do a remote live view like we see right here. So what we're going to do now is we're gonna back out of the frame. So we're gonna back up until we don't see the vehicle anymore. Okay, we might be run out of room here. Oh, it's gonna be close. There we go, there's a little bit of the shot. All right, so now we are going to just drive forward. Now we don't wanna go too fast. We wanna make sure we hit our mark, and there's a little bit of lag here, but we wanna be nice and centered. If you're going too slow, don't worry, we can actually speed it up in post, but I'm just gonna do it nice and slow here and make sure that we're fairly centered, just like that. All right, now we're gonna wait a few seconds and then we're just going to drive off. And that's gonna be our reveal, and our title is going to be placed right there. All right, so let's get down to the nitty gritty, but it's actually really, really easy. Normally I don't do tutorials like this for graphics. I'm no graphics wizard, but I just wanna share this with you, first of all, because it's so easy, and a lot of you have actually asked me how I did this title on some other videos, so I wanted to share it with you, and if I can do it, you can definitely do it as well. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna find our clip here. I have a whole bunch of other Nissan kicks there, but there we go. There is our clip of it driving in and driving out. All right, so we're also going to duplicate this clip. So there we go, I've duplicated, and I'm gonna layer one on top of the other. Now on the top one, I'm going to make a mask. And in the past, this is what you would do. You would actually go into your browser here, and I'd find masks and draw a mask. I would apply that and click to add controls, and I would literally draw a mask over this vehicle. Now this doesn't have to be a car. This could be a bicycle. It could be a person. It could be an animal, a horse, a cow, a skateboard, you name it. It could be a door. So anything that you want. So this is really rough. So this is just want to show you, this is essentially what you would do here. We'd close it off here. Okay, so there's our mask there. Now the difference is, as you can see here, is that in order for this mask to work, I'm gonna turn off this bottom layer, and you can see the mask here. As I actually go forward, as you can see the car moving, I would actually have to move the mask. As you know, so in order to do that, you'd actually have to go frame by frame, which is called rotoscoping, and that's what they didn't do in Hollywood. And it's very, very time consuming, and for a YouTube video, it's just too much work. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this mask now. All right, so I'm just going to take that right off. Okay, so there we go. Now we're gonna select our upper layer. I'm gonna turn that bottom one back on. I'm gonna select the upper layer, and in Final Cut, there is something called magnetic mask. So once again, if you're not using Final Cut, if you're using Premiere Pro, they have auto tracking tools as well. So in this case, we're gonna be add magnetic mask. I'm going to, first of all, select that clip and add magnetic mask. It's going to give me a little eyedropper. I'm just gonna click on the image here, and you can see it's selected the entire car with a couple clicks. If I want to actually take some away, I can just, I can use minus, but it works really well. And you know, it's not that complicated of a background, but all I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna hit analyze. As you can see, this magnetic mask is actually analyzing, and it's going forward, and then it'll analyze backward. This is real time, by the way. I'm gonna let you see what it's like. And we're just doing this just to the top layer. You can see that that's when we move out, and it's moving the mask with it. All right, now it's just gonna do it backwards. And once it's done, we're gonna have that as a separate mask. And that's why if we didn't have that bottom layer that we duplicated, first of all, it would just be the car and there would be no background. So we want that bottom layer as our background, and you'll see in a second why, just in case you're not following along here. All right, so now it is done. I'm just gonna hit done now. All right, so this is a mask. Now it looks like normal because we have that layer on the bottom, okay? If I turn that layer off on the bottom, all right, you can see there is our moving mask with the car. Yeah, there's no background because I turned the background off. The background is exactly frame to frame, the exact same as the front one. So this is actually covering up the vehicle. All right, so now what else do we do? This is pretty well almost done. All right, so I'm just going to turn that back on, and let's add a title now. Okay, so we have, let's say we want, I just have it nice and handy here, which is we have our logo here. This is our Nissan title here, okay? I'm going to stretch this as far as what this is. You can see that is right over the vehicle. And okay, so right about where the vehicle stops, that's where I want to make sure that the vehicle covers the logo there. So I want to rescale this. So on here, I'm going to make it smaller. Let's say about there. Okay, that's close enough for now. Let's see. There we go. And now we also need a title. So I'll put a title here, and I will extend this title all the way to the end as well. And this is just called title. All right, so let's change that title to kicks, because that's what this vehicle is. And I want to move it. We can move it up if we want, like this. I can make it a little bit larger. Of course, we can change the font however we want. And let's change the color. Okay, so let's take our picker and do the color coming from the vehicle. All right. We want our outline not black because we want it to pop a little bit more. You don't have to outline at all. You can put a drop shadow if we want, but let's just do a white outline. There, kicks, Nissan kicks. All right, there we go. Now, if we play it through, there's our car. But of course, it's not revealing it, right? Because these titles and that logo are on top of our mask layer. So all we have to do is either put the titles below it or bring the mask layer above it on top. So let's just bring that over. Okay. And there's also, let's get that title out. Let's bring that title down. Either way. Okay, now you can see there's the kicks. Let's play it back right now. Now you see the vehicle, it is going, and it is going to cover up what we just did, which is pretty cool. And then we waited there, and then it's going to drive off. Eventually, it's going to drive off, and you're going to see it's going to reveal our logo there. That's it. That's as easy as it gets. And at this point right now, another thing that we could also do is, since this bottom layer is separate compared to the mask, you can manipulate all different things. Let's say for the mask portion, let's go into our, that's just something really basic. Let's say if we needed to bring up the midtones on it. I can just bring up the midtones, as you can see, and it's only affecting just what's on our mask right there. If I want to bring down the blacks a little bit. I want to crank up my saturation, really make it really, really bright. I could do that as well. All right. Same thing with the background layer. On the background layer, if we want to select that, I could go and even just strip all the color right out by taking all the saturation out. Now the background is black and white now. All right, so we can look here, it's all black and white. If you want to go for that look, that's kind of cool. But we want color, we like color. So let's put the color, bring the color back. But one thing that we might want to do is right about, let's just say we want to actually go into our filters and add in, go to our blur and add in a Gaussian blur. Now you can see the background's really blurry. That's way too blurry for sure. So I'm just going to go and let's just bring it right down to 0 right now. Okay, so what if we had it 0 and then as we reveal our logo right about here, okay, we want to go and start a keyframe in on the background and okay, let's just hit that and bring it right about there and bring in some blur. Okay, just a little bit. So the title really, really pops more opposed to being super clear. Now, let's just play it back. And now you'll see, there we go. It's going to come in, it's going to cover it up. Now, one other thing that you could do, when we were filming this and you saw it in real time, what happened was it was being really glitchy, the app, so it wasn't coming in live. So I wasn't sure where I was centered. So it took me a little bit longer, but you could speed ramp your in and out. But as you can see now, it's nice and blurry in the background and that kicks really, really does pop. That's it. You know, so there's so many other things you could do with this. Once again, you know, if you want to put something else in front instead of the Nissan kicks in front, you could have nothing and it just comes in, and we've done that before. Or you could just have the Nissan there, and as it drives off, it's replaced with the kicks. Whatever you want, you could actually do that. There's a couple other products that we did here, and we'll just go full screen. Now you'll see here, there's a speed ramp there, and this is a good example of how I started with one. I did a little glitch effect and then went and brought it off, and you can see that blur there. And now this one is coming. This one I did with the drone. Even though it wasn't very high, I was just happening to get some drone shots. That's why you can see a little bit of wandering, but that magnetic mask really did work very well. And it's revealing that nice F-150 as it comes off. All right. Hey, just like I said, easy peasy, right? Remember, hey, as I mentioned, we're using Final Cut here, but if you're using Premiere Pro or another editing software, most of them have the ability to do the auto mask and tracking nowadays. So also let me know, do you want to see more videos like this, kind of behind the scenes of how we do our car review videos? Leave a comment below. Until next time, bye.
Like always, if you enjoyed this video or any content on the channel, I have a lot of videos and not just automotive. We have tech, outdoor equipment including robotic lawnmowers and snow blowers, and even travel, so something for everyone. I would really appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe button. It's completely free and it allows me to continue creating more content like this for you. Hope to see you on the next video. Bye.